Oh, okay. You're recording. So, yeah, you're recording. If somebody wants to begin the process of electing a chair for the ad hoc committee.
So this is the first meeting of the ad hoc committee to select a new administrative assistant to the town council. And the first item on the agenda is to select a chairman for the ad hoc committee. I would entertain any motions for appointment.
Make a motion to make Councilman Chase chairman of the committee.
Second.
Well, that's fine. I accept that appointment. I thank you both for your confidence, and I'm pleased to do that.
I think we have to do a roll call vote officially.
Oh, okay, you're right. All right, so I'll ask for a roll call vote. Councilor Souza
Yes.
and Councilor George,
Yes,
and I also will concur. So it's unanimous.
that'd be nice if you voted for yourself. Okay.
Oh, it's always a good idea. I did send to you separately this afternoon. You may, just a while ago, you may not have seen this, but I was poking around through the Mass Municipal Association website, looking for their, what I imagine is their job board, and I think I found it. In any event, I found a reference to an opening in the town of Easton for executive assistant to the select board and town administrator. And I sent to you each just a snapshot of that, the requirements as they're spelled out there. I thought if we had nothing else in hand to talk about, but for the recommendations that we've already received from Anne, which are very, very helpful for us. And obviously they're more germane to our situation because she knows exactly what she does. But I thought maybe together, at least, these are a couple of items that might help us to flesh out what are the responsibilities, at least, that we're looking for. There's still really the issue of what are the ideal qualifications of a candidate. In other words, what is their past job experience, things of that sort. So there's a lot to talk about, and I didn't know really what would a convenient place to begin. But again, I didn't scrutinize it very completely, but it looks like there are quite a number of opportunities that are offered through the Mass Municipal Association job site, job board, whatever it is. And so I kind of wondered, I don't know if either of you have had experience in this aspect of it, but maybe that's an appropriate place for us to look for a person. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would say we should maximize any and all avenues, be it MMA, be it job boards, be it Facebook, whatever the case may be. I personally don't see us ruling out any. I'd rather have too many candidates than not enough.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Okay. And I agree. I think that makes sense. It seemed to me to be kind of a logical place to find someone with experience, at least with experience in municipal government. I'm not sure if there's any other equally appropriate place. Obviously the town could place an ad in the Enterprise, but I don't know if that's going to reach the greatest number of candidates qualified for this kind of a job.
Can I suggest on that, we check with the town HR manager and see who the town uses as well as just maybe another point.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
Contact. Yeah.
I agree. We'll get input from someone in the HR capacity and see what their experience is and what tools they have available. Obviously, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It seems to me we could make an appropriate posting on the town website. I'm not sure who is in the best position to help us arrange that, but that kind of made sense to me. So there are, at least at a minimum, those few opportunities to get the word out right away.
There is a town website where all positions are listed, open positions, both jobs, pay jobs and committees and boards and everything. There is one out there right now that we have. So,
Okay.
again, just another finger in the fire, I say.
And that's available through the official website, through the town website.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Then let's look into that, because it seems to me that's kind of the no-brainer. We should look at. All right. So at least that's.
I think there's a couple things, Fred. Even before we go in that direction, but it's nice, nice to have those options. There's obviously the job description. I think also we need to get a sense. Do we up this position to a full-time position versus, even though Ann doesn't work part-time? I think what you're going to have is people that just had some general questions, but conversations, I should say, that a full-time position is probably going to be a little bit more attractive to people that have experience. And then from there, we are going to need to make probably a budget adjustment, just, so we have it within the ballpark of what we expect, not at the low, not at the high, try to come in at the medium. And I think that those two things need to be approved at the council level. I mean, we can do everything else in regards to the job. The job description, it is what it is in regards to the description, be it 35 hours, be it 40 hours. And again, from my perspective, but that's where I think we need to get people to either agree or disagree that we bump this up to full-time and we expand the budget. Because obviously the budget was what Ann was making. Now we have to go out and hire someone else. Also, to take a step back, when I was at the Bridgewater Business Association get together at Sullivan, talking to Kim Williams, they do have some resources that we can tap into that they've used to go out and source candidates as well. So I forget exactly what it is, but my hope is that we have some sort of agreement, almost on a retainer basis, to be able to source candidates for various positions. So.
Okay. And you think Kim would be the go-to person to contact about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And I think she can start the conversation. If there's anyone else internal, I would assume that she would probably go in that direction. But I think she's been spearheading DPW, now highway, as well as other openings that the town's had over the last couple of years, at least.
Okay, I think that's helpful. All right, good. We can plan to reach out to Kim and get her input.
Yeah, and I did get a chance to look at what you sent out, Fred, and it's pretty. Look, I like stealing stuff and calling it my own. I think with some tweaking from what Ann sent, in a fairly short period of time, we should have, I think, a pretty solid job description, and be able to get it out there fairly quickly.
No, exactly. I thought it was not entirely on point, but I thought it's very, very close. And we'd want to kind of put our own touch to it regardless, but that makes perfect sense. And integrating, Ann's input, which is, that's the whole ball of wax for us. I mean, that's what we have to know.
Yep.
Exactly what it is that she feels most important that that this person accomplish. Okay, so I can put together kind of a draft integrating these two items, and circulate that to each of you for your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean that works for me.
Great. Sure
Okay.
works for me.
All right, that's good.
I'm a firm believer that we shouldn't have to start in the beginning all the time.
Exactly. Whenever we can, why reinvent the wheel? I'm with you. All right. So now you mentioned, Sean, about council approval on the topic of full-time and also as to a budget adjustment that might be needed. So do you think it's appropriate for this as a discussion item for the next upcoming, well, 2 weeks away, council meeting, or is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? What do we, after tomorrow? I think after tomorrow, is it not 3
Well,
weeks?
it's, yeah, because we had to push it. We had to push
The
it off
election.
because we had back to back.
Yeah.
But I think we can bring it up. It can be brought up under discussion. Let me.
How about committee reports?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah,
So what we can do is, and obviously, Fred, this be your lead or whatever, is just talk about what we've just talked about, right? So we've elected you. We do need a job description that we're working on. Collectively, if we all agree, we do feel that we should propose this as a full-time position, not part-time, and that we'll need to adjust the budget number accordingly. I wouldn't necessarily throw out numbers at that point, but we'll, come back if we can get a little bit more data. I actually reached out to Michael because they do have that salary survey. They're supposed to get another one fairly soon, but I think we could look at the old one and use that as a barometer anyway, to have that range of what we just need to feel like we need to budget. After that, I don't know if we do it tonight or we do it at the next meeting, but we really need to talk about the vetting process, and what the council wants to do in regards to, are we the initial people that vet the applicants or the I'll say resumes, which I should say, and what do we charge with bringing to the council for the number of candidates in order for them to be considered? We have to kind of outline what the interview process is, which is going to be interesting in itself, under the current conditions. And then ultimately, what's the process for the final decision, which I'm assuming would be done in executive session, because this does have to do with personnel. So, but we can get guidance from Jason on that.
That's right. I think for several of those items, we'll have to draw Jason into the conversation, but that he anticipates that, so that's fine. No, and I think you're right. I think that the question of vetting is really going to be key. Obviously, we can look at something that floats into us and discuss it among ourselves, but I think that I just noticed in that Easton posting, for example, that they have a statement that says new hires will undergo inquiries from the Criminal Offender Registry and the Sexual Offender Registry boards. Obviously, I think our candidates would as well.
Yeah.
And that I'm not sure of the time frame for that. It seems to me that a query report isn't not a lengthy period of time, but I'm trying to recollect. I did one just a couple of years ago, and
the thing about query reports is that no news is good news. Like you don't get a notification that your background's clear. It's if you don't hear from us within a week or two, you can assume that everything's good. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
But I think we could follow the same process for any new hire within the town. Whatever the town's done for background checks, I don't know if we do credit checks. Ann doesn't deal with any money or negotiable instruments, so I don't think she has to be bonded. But there probably are standard things, again, that Kim can help with that. And that does become the situation where I'm just going to throw out just numbers. If we get 6 applicants, does the council give us a charge to whittle it down to 3, whatever the requisite number is? We get those 3, we do the background check, because I don't think we want to put anyone in front of the council that hasn't, that hasn't passed. So every one of those 3 are qualified within the background check. Then it becomes, are they qualified what's the vetting process? I mean, to try to coordinate 9 different interviews, I think is going to be just not doable. But I think we have to get kind of the guidance on, is it, is it 3 counselors, including the president? Is it, I mean, we can let that roll out so that we're kind of quote unquote done with our role in this when we've sourced the X amount of candidates that we're charged to find. And then barring any unforeseen circumstances of not being hired, that person gets hired and then we're done. So,
Right. No,
but I don't, yeah.
I agree. I think getting a handle on the number of persons that would be an appropriate pool of candidates, and getting the council to weigh in on that and approve that, and then going forward, as you said, to the background check phase of vetting, that sounds appropriate to me. I can talk to maybe, since Kim, this is a component of her position for other situations. Maybe she can kind of propose something of a a dynamic for us as to how it should play out. But I mean, I think you've hit all the main points of it. We just don't know necessarily because we're throwing the council into the mix. That makes it more confusing and more complicated than just going to the town manager, who might be making a decision on a new hire.
Yeah, and I think that's where we've got to get a little more clearance. Anne was nice enough when she gave me her notice of moving on that she would agree, if counselor so chooses, to be involved with the interview process as well. I mean, I'm always a firm believer that if you can get the person who's in the position to be part of the process of finding their replacement, take advantage of that. So, I mean, I've seen it, Fred, where, just a hiring manager, quote unquote, interviews. I've seen it when it's been 2 people. I've also seen the speed dating one, and I am not a fan of that whatsoever. That's just it. It's like 6 people, and you have time slots, and I don't think we have to get to that point. I would look to collectively what is the number, and if I had to propose, the interview committee would be the president, would probably be you, 1 general counselor, and Ann. I know that's 4, but 3 or 4, and that would be it. I mean, the final decisions by the council, but I think with all of those people involved, I think you would be able to get a good sense for whatever the committee puts in front, and then what the interview committee feels is the top candidate. That, and again, I'm just giving you from my perspective.
I think that makes sense. When you referred to a general counsel, are you talking about an at-large counselor necessarily? Is that what you think?
Just someone else on the council.
Someone else from the council.
Yeah, it could be Frank, it could be Bill. I mean, if you wanted to go to that level, but if we wanted to keep it to 3, I would say Matt, you, and Ann.
Yeah. If
you want to make it 4, open it up to the council. I wouldn't go more, personally, I wouldn't go more than 4.
I agree with you. That can get out of hand very easily.
Yeah. I think what happens is, before you get to that point, you've already received a resume from the person, so you got a good background check on them. You know a lot about what they've done, because we're going to be looking for someone who's going to be a self-motivated self-starter, someone who doesn't have somebody on their back all the time to tell them what to do. Okay, somebody with a very good ability for communications, both verbal and written. So we already got an idea of some of the things that we need. That's a definite. Now, the rest of the job description follows that.
Yep.
That's true. Yep. No, you're exactly right. And that's where
a resume and will give
Yep.
you a lot of information even before you sit down with these people.
Yeah.
After you review the resume as whatever the group or whatever, and then decide who you're going to resume from there.
Yeah, but you're right. That's our first stab at it, is to look at the paperwork and kick it around and see how close it fits to what we think we need, and before we get into the weeds.
Mhm.
Okay. So just for tonight, what else do we think any further groundwork that we think we need to lay out for tonight?
I'd say, when do you want to meet again? That would be, I mean, Monday, we can't do it Monday because it's a holiday, but
Holiday.
do you want to shoot for maybe next Wednesday? Because after tomorrow's meeting, we should have a little bit more guidance. We'll also have time to work on the job description.
Yeah.
The resources that we've identified that we can use, I would probably ask them to come to the next meeting. They don't necessarily have to come to all of them, but I think that would be a critical one. And then after that second meeting, then I think we can gauge, do we need to have when the next meeting is?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Actually, you're
Go
thinking
ahead.
maybe a week from this coming Wednesday.
I think so. Hold on. I don't think it's not a holiday. I know that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Frank, but June 2nd is open for me.
As of
I mean,
this
you could-
evening, it's open.
Yeah.
So if
So-
I ever commit something, then it's not.
There you go. We'll write this one in pen.
I just
Okay.
did.
I'm glad
June
someone
2nd.
gets that joke. All right. It's a bad one, but someone gets it. The old Franklin Covey. Again, I'd make a motion to set our next meeting for Wednesday, June 2nd at 6:30.
Second it.
Okay, and we'll do a roll call vote.
Yes.
Frank, your vote? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Sean, your vote?
Yes.
Okay, it is unanimous. Next Wednesday, I should say Wednesday, the 2nd at 6:30.
Okay.
So I'm going to begin with the, reaching out to some of the people that we talked about, and also drafting that initial proposed job description. And I'll plan to circulate that to each of you then in a matter of the next couple of days, just so that we have time to, give it ample thought.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, that's fine. I'll commit to that. And I think we have the basic parameters of what we have to do. So now we have to do it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna a list of things that are gonna be done before we meet. And I think that was the object of this evening, is to
That's right.
some guidance as to where we were gonna go and who we're going to be talking to. I think we've accomplished that.
I think we have. And there's no public input.
Well, we do have someone from the public. I'm going to go off protocol,
Oh.
and I'm going to ask someone from the public for a little input. Ms. Holmberg, have we missed anything from your perspective that we should prep for either tomorrow night or for next Wednesday?
So my guess is going to be this. I think that tomorrow night, you would have to be prepared that I don't know how much discussion the town attorney is going to allow, since even though it's under committee reports, it's not posted on your agenda. Right.
And
So you can give a report, but for counselors to be giving feedback, I'm not real sure how much discussion he's going to allow under that context.
Yeah, and I think, I'm sorry, and I should have said this better. The committee report last night will be in preparation for the next meeting around the discussion points. So yeah, I agree with, I think we just want to give people a heads up that at the next meeting, we will have an agenda item in regards to town council clerk job description or something to that effect. So I couldn't agree more. See, I don't think you should leave it. I mean, this is the stuff, this is the stuff we absolutely need. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
We know where she's
Um,
going to be.
Yeah, you know where I'm gonna be. Come down for a barbecue.
Oh, there you go.
I think that I think that Kim Williams is going to be able to help you quite a bit. I think if you reach out to her and even in terms of getting it posted onto,
Yeah.
you know, the different websites, Frank is exactly right. There's a job section on our council on the town's website. I think we use Indeed, MMA. I think they have a whole kind of posting protocol that they can help you with if you have the job description. So that
Right.
should relieve some of the burden off of you. In
Good.
terms of the recruitment, it all sounds okay. I really am not sure that you can do a full background check on someone before you extend an offer because that it requires them to give you their social. But you could check with the town attorney. I think he offered to help several times too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
But other than that, everything sounded pretty on point to me.
And are you still willing to be part of the interview process?
Oh, yes, I'd be happy
Since
to
I-
dust off my
si-
recruitment hat.
Since I volunteered you, I might as well ask you after I volunteered you, right? Beg for forgiveness instead of ask for permission.
Sure.
Oh my God, that's such a banking saying, is it not?
It is.
I know.
It is. 32 years in banking. I got a couple cliches up my sleeve.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And I did not, your comment about the Franklin Covey is not gone unnoticed by me.
No. You're too funny.
I think, yeah, I would be happy to sit in if that's appropriate. Yeah, I was a recruiter in my past life. Nothing makes me happier than recruitment. So 100%, if that's your interest, if that's, you know, if that's what you'd like me to do, I'm happy to participate.
I think that would be tremendous. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Ann.
welcome. Sure. Sure.
All
I'm
right.
happy to help out however I can.
All right.
Short of
I'll make
submitting a resume.
Yeah, short of that.
We will make a fine. We'll give you a special finder's fee of a box of chocolates or something. I don't know. We'll figure that one out later.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I will make a motion to adjourn if that's appropriate.
And I
I
will
would second it. Okay.
Right.
And all in favor?
Roll call.
All right. Councilor Souza
Yes.
and Councilor George,
Yes.
and I'll concur. So
We
thank
will
you
get
both.
around. Yep, we'll get around that eventually. God only knows.
We
And
will.
so we're up. And can you stop the recording?